Welcome back, everyone. Times are so tough for so many of us right now, especially those looking for employment. Career strategist Cheryl Ayers believes, believe it or not, it is actually possible to pivot into a new career right now despite these current circumstances. She and Kara continue part 2 of our job segment with advice for recent grads. Take a look.
Cheryl Ayers, our resident career expert. We so love having you. We've gotten a lot of questions. We wanted to help people. Let's start with recent graduates, students. I think it's been such a strange, interesting time, right? So how do we get them prepped for their next opportunity? I know a lot of them are probably sitting at home right now wondering what's next for them.
And I think it's very important that they look at companies that they are particularly interested in and find internships and externships and part-time employment. Even contract work will work for them for now. And that will get their foot in the door. This will help them find the next opportunity and help them to understand which path they're really going to take. But this will also give them employment as well. So there are many, many opportunities out there like that. And then what they have to understand is that a lot of companies like to hire interns and externs because by doing so, it saves them a lot of money. And volunteering is also a good thing for them to do as well.
What does that look like? Because I know I've heard, people trying to get volunteer opportunities, and it's probably going to be different this year, right?
It's going to be very different. Anyone who's expecting to do volunteer work or even internships and externships will probably have to work remotely. It depends upon the opportunity. We just never know, but they need to be prepared to think about, do they have the ability to work remotely, and are they willing to work remotely?
Okay, let's talk about those people that might be looking for supplemental work, that might be also just looking for something to get through the next 6 months. Do we have any advice for them?
Well, part-time work is always good. So, the problem is retail stores, some are open, some have reopened, and some have not. If they get into a company and they are able to work in that company either on a part-time basis or on a contract basis, it allows them to be able to work in that company and establish themselves. And it's very important that they begin to network within the company. When people know who you are and you volunteer and you ask to help on different committees or ask to help them to work on something, that in itself will give you some visibility within the organization and then help you to be able to land that permanent job with them.
Yeah, that's such good advice. I'm a firm believer too, and still, I know this might sound cliche, but everything's so digital now, and actually calling the number on the website and finding out the secretary's name or however you can get to the person that you need to get to hire you. So let's say you get that call back, Cheryl, and you're going in for an interview. Any advice for a first-time interviewer or somebody that's re-entering the workforce after a long time?
Well, absolutely. And one of the things that you mentioned was going in for an interview. So right now that's not happening. You have to be able to be prepared to do video interviews. So a lot of companies are doing video interviewing, and that's a whole different ballgame. They can find different resources on the internet to help them prepare for video interviewing. And that is making sure that their computer is compatible, making sure that they understand that this is still an interview, how to dress appropriately for the interview, to be able to answer the questions the same way they would if it was an in-person interview. So they've got to be prepared for that. To make themselves stand out, the main preparation is going to be around answering the questions, making sure that they are speaking to their accomplishments. And for recent graduates, even if those accomplishments have to do with an organization that they were a member of in school, and then, no one knows you better than you do. So I've always used the example, if someone asks me, say, well, what's your kid's name? And I go, oh, I don't know. That's really bad. So no one should be able to talk about your experiences the way you should do. So if they're asking you about something that you've done, you should be able to just roll it right off of your tongue, but you've got to deliver it in a way where it shows your success, it shows your accomplishments, it shows your enthusiasm.
I think that's so important too, to deliver it in a way that's palpable, I guess. and it's good to practice that too. I once had a boss say to me, nobody's going to know how great you are unless you tell them. And I was like, well, I can't do that. But I think there is a way that you really need to do that so people know, because nobody's going to know. Tell them.
And we can't be braggadocious, okay? So it's not, you don't want to be arrogant, but you want to be confident. And so that confidence, actually, it shows. And people want to bring someone that's confident and who can bring ideas, but also who can work with the team and who can work alone, who can take instructions well, those kinds of things. So it's not just a matter of being able to just go in and rattle off an answer, but making sure that they know who you are and what you bring to the table.
All right, Cheryl Ayers, thank you so much. We love having you on Atlanta & Company. We so appreciate your expertise. Thanks, and hope to see you again soon.